Yep, there you go. Alright, so there we go. Hightower is ready to be purified. So we'll go ahead and drop him off. Yeah. I briefly mentioned it, and then I kind of delved into another topic, but when I did say I was studying and all that, when they flash white, that means they're done. Shit. I did find a place to study, so now I have at least a brief idea on what to expect inside of this area, which is, you know, essential. Because, well, I don't want to have to go in here not knowing what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what these are. Can I go through here? I certainly can, but I don't want to. I want to explore the other building. So, yeah, no, I can be able to... I've got a good enough idea on where the essential fights are and what fights to cut out. And from my understanding, there's actually a lot of fights to cut out. But, yeah, no one has bothered making a useful walkthrough on how to go through this place, so I had to try and find a visual one, which I was actually successful in doing thanks to my brother. I can go it. Oh, there's no stairs down here. Huh. Well, that's kind of odd. I mean, I can go ahead and give the guy, I guess, a shout out. I don't really. I mean, it's not like it's gonna do anything. No one's gonna care. And of course, he was kind of getting popular because he was doing the right game at the right time. Which actually kind of bothers me. I mean, I've never actually been accused of it, but I've always worried if, like, some stupid fan of someone else is like, oh, you're copying this person, and I'd be like, who the hell is this? Or, oh, hey, you know, I did it first. This was recorded first before they did it. This is a cutout fight, so we're going to go ahead and cut it out. So I actually forgot to heal before the battle even started. I didn't get to use Mayday at all, so Mayday didn't get any experience. Good job, JCR. Yeah, now this is going to have a lot of fights in here that are not involved any Shadow Pokemon. The best way I can explain it, which I guess I can do at the end. And another thing is you actually go through this area backwards, which is kind of funny. So now you go over here. But hey, I guess I can't explain anything. So, what I meant to explain was, I've only actually looked through the Shadow Lab, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to record, but if I do feel like I should keep recording, then after the lab, I'm not going to know what to expect, but throughout the lab, I at least have an idea. This guy is another fight I'm going to need to edit out, so you can go ahead. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be reading a lot of the dialogue unless it's, like, apparent, but there's just so much of it, and I don't feel it matters, so that's why I'm kind of not doing it. You disturbed me. I just walked behind you and you started talking and shit. Yeah. Alright, so, right here is an actual one with a shadow. So, my way of remembering it was Dib's lab. Inside of Coliseum, there was a guy here by the name of Ian, who was the boss, and he had pointy hair, which reminded me of Dib from Invader Zim. So that's what I always called him. That's another thing, is I don't have any crazy names for any of these characters. Like, I remember some of the main villains because they're just so goddamn ridiculous. Like, I'll give them that. A lot of the enemies, bosses, and antagonists inside of the Coliseum XD spin-offs are loaded with personality. I'll give them that. They really did a good job of actually that. So here is Spinarak. Yep, a shadow. Another one we already had. Falls into Ariados. I'm not a fan of bug types, but I will say, if I were to pick a bug, I would actually say Ariados is one of the least useless bugs. Most bug Pokemon I feel are just there just to exist and nothing more. Like, Spinarak can actually learn something, like it's offensive, so it feels like it's actually worth a damn. Like, it could use Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb's a damn good attack, and guess what? It's part poison type, so it'll do good. It can learn Nightshade. Nightshade's a really good fixed attack. There you go. Like, it's actually one of the shiniest turds of bug Pokemon. Because, I mean, Another one of my favorites would be Beedrill. That's because Beedrill is super offensive and he can learn some good things, like he could learn Hyper Beam, and well, he looks pretty cool too, so I mean, there's that. But I mean, I never felt like most bug Pokemon were good. Pinsir's actually a pretty decent one. Ledyball's crap. Butterfree's meh. Scyther's meh, in my opinion, too, just because he doesn't learn anything good. You'd have to teach him everything. And by the first 2 generations, there's no good bug moves, period. Heracross is one that a lot of people say is really good, but I'm just not a fan of him. It's the whole 4 times weak to flying thing that kind of bothers me. Plus, it's like, he feels like he's more of a fighting type, ironically, than a bug type. So, just that. Since he's a bug type, he's gonna be, you know, instinctively Fire Blast. That's it. And if you're gonna be using a fighting type, chances are you're gonna be using it against something like, I don't know, Rock, which beats Bug. I thought Ice beat Bug, but apparently it doesn't. So yeah, you could have it on Ice, and you could have it against normal types, in which case a lot of normal types are prone to have, you know, something like Fire Blast or Blizzard or some shit like that, so, you know, something not recommended for it, which I don't feel is really useful. I don't know. But out of all the bug types, I actually feel like Spinarak and Ariados is a decent one. I don't know. It's one I could actually use if I found a use for it, but yeah. And I feel like Volbeat and Ilmuse are pretty crap too, so they're literally the exact same as Ledyball, but in twin form. That's weird, because like I can keep commentating, and it feels like I should stop. And whenever we go ahead and get to Spheal, we will dump him off and grab the next one. In which case, it will not always be a next one in line. Some of the guys I'll end up actually skipping because, you know, level differences and all that. Oh, this is important dialogue. Please, Professor Crane, when will you tell us about your purification study? I do so want to know. I think they fixed most of the dialogue in this, because I'd always trip over the stuff in Coliseum, as to where this one feels a little bit more fluid. That will let me power up my XD number 1. I so made it myself. Don't you think that would be fabulous? Fab. You've got to be joking. I would never cooperate with people like you. Oh, but why? I so don't get it. Why would you refuse an offer as wonderful as this? I don't care how often you repeat yourself. I have no intention of helping your Shadow Pokemon plan. Artificially slamming shut the hearts of Pokemon. It's inexcusable. Put a stop to it immediately. Oh, you're so mean and close-minded. You won't even try to understand. This is all your fault. Professor Crane is so cross because you were rude when you invited him here. Well, he invited him here by force. You can't be serious. Listen to the man already. He's been saying all along that he wasn't going to help us. I can't hear you. My plan's perfect. Being off by just a tiny bit is enough to make it drop a ship. I want you to look at the uproar. It's all your fault what happens every little bit, so do something about it. Naps, was it? You have my sympathy. What a nightmare it must be to have to take orders from her. You put a lid on it. When it comes right to it, it's all your fault. First, we need to talk. I'll teach you why it's a mistake to create Shadow Pokemon. Because Shadow Pokemon are wrong and God says no. Right, Crane? And here's another Shadow fight, actually. My way of remembering this is where Vibrava was located. So, that's very, very convenient. They'd actually put another one inside of another place where a Shadow used to be. But from here, it's going to be cutting out some more after that. I guess I can say it. She's a recurring antagonist in this, and that's what I mean is, like, she's memorable because she's so goddamn retarded and outlandishly weird. That's the kind of thing. It's like, you remember them, but maybe for not the right reasons. I remember her because she looks like she hasn't eaten in her whole life, and her hair is something she could play jump rope with. That's why I remember her. Not because she's cool, but because she's fucking odd. So that's kind of what I meant. And it gets weirder. Like, Japan has this thing with, let's make characters look as obtuse as possible, and it's cool. Like, I remember that in, it was Beyblade, I almost said Digimon. There was a dude, and he was wearing pants, and like his entire left pant leg was just missing. And I thought it was cool because I was like 9 or 8 or something like that. And my sister's like, what happened to his pants? And I'm like, looking back at it, it's like, yeah, it was pretty stupid. So, I don't get what the hell Japan's thinking, but whatever. They should probably offer some of what they're smoking to the rest of the world. Numal is our shadow here. I kind of like him. He's a ground and fire, which is a problem. But, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and bite him. I think he'll resist. But at the same time, like, he feels like he's not, like, crap. It's weird. It's like he's good, but he's not good. He learns a move later called Eruption, which is super, super powerful. But other than that, then, you know, having the ground type is an advantage. It really is. Excuse me. But it's also a disadvantage. I don't know. It's like, it's got its ups, it's got its downs. I just don't know where to fall. Please stop ripping. I only have water, by the way, so I don't know why it's doing this. He's a level 14, I think, it looks like. So that's another thing, is when I said, like, you're not gonna, even though I'm over-leveled, I still didn't do that much damage. And it is kind of useful. I'm actually gonna probably, oh my god, I haven't saved in a while. This is a really stupid idea. I need to save now. Oh my god, shit. I really hope I didn't just blow this. Please resist. Oh! Numal, if you die, I'm gonna cry and then quit life. No, I couldn't shoot. I hope he goes into hybrid mode, actually. Or fuck you too. Okay, that didn't do like anything. That's good. Because see, I didn't remember how much it did, so that's why I panicked a little bit. And I haven't been obeying my rules. Oh hey, save, moron. Like I've jammed down your guys' throats. Because, well, that's kind of the idea. You don't get a second chance at this. So if you're not careful, you might have well just blown it. On top of that, I'm pretty low on Pokeballs. If it's not in double digits, I'm low, goddammit. Especially in this game where it's kind of essential. But I mean, luckily most of these guys are pretty nice to catch. They're not a pain in the ass. Yeah, no, Numal's, he doesn't bother me. Like, he's fine. He's not an irritant. He's not great. He's decent. He's one that I don't mind, at least. I don't really know how to describe it, but something about him is just alright. Yeah, see. And now we're catching a butt ton of shadows. Alright, let's go ahead and save. See, we just got 11, guys. We just got 11 from our 3. That's quite a lot. Yeah, no, because one thing now that bothers me is the idea that it's like, if I do mess up or something screws up in a recording, I don't get a second chance. Which is one of the most terrifying feelings in the world. Because I remember that actually happened in Coliseum, but it was so early on in the game that it didn't even matter. I thought someone was going to fall from the ceiling. Oh well. But I mean, I gotta really be careful because I don't get a second chance here. There's no screwing around. Alright, well let's go up this lift then. Just because it's right there. Oh look, a healing machine. I like don't need it that much. See why Umbreon's just the best thing around? We'll use it anyway because why the hell not? But I mean, I could live without it. And see, yeah, they were more generous and like nicer about it. Shit. Hold it, I'll block the elevator and yell at you from afar. So from that fight, Spheel is now ready to be purified. Ironically, he's in hyper mode and dying. An ether, a single ether, that's all it was, that's not even worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and ditch Spheel and find some other party members. I'll meet you back where we were in just a moment.